Good morning, everyone, and a really happy Monday to you. Just a couple of points about Saturday, right? We went to Limerick and we protested for the homeless in our own country. We have 15,000 homeless Irish people, almost 4,000 of which are children. Now, that only includes, right, the ones that are listed as actually homeless, right? It doesn't include the thousands of people that have had to move back into their parents' house and that are sleeping on couches. And we've seen over the last few years, when the rents went up and there was no caps, right? We saw families having to split apart because people couldn't accommodate maybe a whole family at once, and the people sleeping on couches. So mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, they were separated from each other. And that should never be. Especially when we seem to be able to bang the houses out left, right and centre for economic migrants that have no rhyme or reason for being here, have never contributed to our country, have never done anything for our country, have absolutely no respect for our heritage, for our culture, for our people. It's a disgrace. Now, there was two girls there that I spoke to that were there with their buggies, right? And they had a baby in the buggy. They weren't there together. Two girls that came on their own, right? With their small children. A couple of small children, they were walking with the buggy, baby in the buggy. And I spoke to the two of them. And they were both living in emergency accommodation in hotel rooms with their children, and brokenhearted by the fact that their own country has let them down so badly, and still came out to speak and protest, and even on their own. And I think that was so brave, and well done to them. Massive well done to the man we spoke to, Declan, and I'm sure many of you have seen that video. It was a heartbreaking listen, and it was a heartbreaking watch to watch that poor man cry his way through the whole lot of it and tell us about how he's on the streets, how he's lived on the streets, and how for the last 2 years he's watched people get housed left, right and centre that have no affiliation to this nation, none whatsoever. It's very, very hard to watch one of your own, a grown man, be put into that position, to be brought down to that, crying like that and feeling that alone, but still being brave enough to come on camera and stand in his truth and tell everyone exactly what it was. And that was amazing. Everybody did a great job by showing up, especially Ger, who organised the Ger McNamara in Limerick. He does fantastic work for the homeless, has a stand out, has food out, has blankets, does fantastic work. Now, one last thing that I want to say, and this might shock people, they won't expect it out of me, but I want to say a massive well done to the guards in Limerick that day. For me anyway, there was a couple of ye that I spoke to that absolutely restored my faith that there are good guards left, that they're not all like the ones that try to antagonise us and bait us in Dublin or Newtown Mount Kennedy and all that kind of thing. There are good ones. There are good ones that aren't aware of the level of corruption that there is, but had no problem listening to it. There are ones that are respectful, that are well behaved, and know what it means to be a guardian of the peace, and remembers their oath of protecting their own people. There was guards there that day that were for their people and that told us so, and proved it, which I won't get into. But now, there was one very shady undercover cunt, right, going around filming us, but sure, listen, we let him slip under the radar back into McEntee's back door or whatever. But the genuine ones, the ones that are there in the uniform and actually having to face any of the trouble that comes along, or the abuse they're getting, or this, that and the other, there are good ones there. And it was fantastic to see. So I'm well able to shout about what's wrong. I also want to commend what's good. So to everybody that showed up that day, to everybody that played their part, to everybody that was raw and spoke out, and to everybody that keeps pushing the system, well done to you all. And well done to the guards for behaving exactly as they should for their own people.